Everyone loves an underdog story, right? Well, Major League Baseball always brings some great ones. We saw last year with the Blue Jays' run to the World Series. But there are some teams still getting undervalued, underrated, if you will, across MLB. So today we're going to look at the top 5 undervalued teams on the betting market and from the folks out in Vegas when looking at the win totals. So here are my picks for the most underrated teams in Major League Baseball this season. So let's take a look. Again, we are using the Vegas win totals to figure out who are the most undervalued teams in MLB. Do want to remind you, if you're looking for the opposite of this, the overrated teams, that video is already up now. Or if you're listening in podcast form, it was in the podcast yesterday. Coming in at number 5 for being underrated in Major League Baseball, a team that seems perpetually overrated, the San Diego Padres. Their win total sits at 83.5. And I understand it does feel like they have kind of fallen off a little bit, but you have Tatis coming off of a fantastic WBC, same with Manny Machado, just a solid lineup 1 through 9. They didn't make that big splash in free agency that we're all accustomed to with them. It was just kind of keeping Michael King around. But having Miller in the back part of that bullpen, for a full season, I think is going to help keep them above this win total. So I like them. I think that this is an intriguing team. Plus, if they're around it at the deadline, you know they're going to be aggressive. So this is one I don't think we're going to miss this one by a little. We're either going to miss it by a ton or this one's going to be locked up by August. Like that, this is one where I think that they're going to be way off of this one way or the other. Coming in at number 4, it is the San Francisco Giants. Their total comes in at 80.5. A full year of Rafael Devers, a full spring training of him working over at first base. And you have that pop. They signed Adames last offseason, bringing in Luis Ariz on a prove-it contract, Harrison Bader late in the offseason also. These are the types of moves that Giants fans have become a little bit frustrated with, that they kind of shop in the second tier of free agents or maybe even a touch below that. But it strengthens the lineup. It kind of extends things a little bit. And I think it's just a decently solid group of hitters that they have on this team. And then pitching wise, they have a couple arms that you fear as well. So I'm not making a case that this is going to be a team that pushes for a playoff spot. Although I guess if I'm saying over 80.5 wins, they'll at least be in the conversation for one of those last wild card spots. But I think this is at least the team that's going to be over 500. I said before with the Padres one that one we're going to know. We're going to miss that one or nail that one by a lot. This isn't one of those. This one is going to come down to the last 2 or 3 games of the regular season, I think. But I still think that they are being underrated right now in Major League Baseball. Coming in at number 3 is the Texas Rangers. They got a sneaky healthy year from DeGrom last season. They bring in Mackenzie Gore to help out with that pitching staff. Simeon Fernimo, I think, is actually a bit of an upgrade for them. I kind of like that for them. I think you have another year of progress for some of the younger players that intrigue you on this team also. So I think there's a lot to like with this Rangers squad. And we talked yesterday about how I think the Astros are a touch overrated. So I think Texas is going to be able to get some wins off of those guys as well. I think this is going to be a competitive baseball team this year. And so I have the Rangers coming in at 83.5 wins as an underrated team in MLB this year. Before we get to the last 2, a reminder that if you're watching this and you're already at this point, hit that subscribe button. Also, while you're here, hit the like. It's right there. And you can share your thoughts on this one in the comments. But hitting subscribe really does help the channel out as we look to grow this thing here in 2026. Coming in at number 2, the Atlanta Braves at 87.5 wins. This was a team that had the year from hell last year with injury issues and everything like that. They are healthy, and when healthy, it's one of the most talented teams in the league, 1 through 9. A solid pitching staff, a pretty good bullpen that they've added to fairly effectively, I think. So I like this group a lot. I think Alex Anthopoulos still has a lot of moves to make as general manager of this team as well. So there's a lot to like about this Braves team. 87.5. It's a competitive National League East this season, but I think the Braves are going to be right back at the top of it with a group that's only issue has been staying healthy healthy the last couple of seasons. And at number 1, it's the Chicago Cubs. Yes, they lost Kyle Tucker, but bringing in Bregman, helping out with that, helping out with the atmosphere in the clubhouse and everything there. And then adding Cabrera to the rotation, adding Maton with others in the bullpen. I think that they didn't get that one name that helps out with Tucker, but with Bregman, I wasn't huge when the Blue Jays were in on him. That's more length of contract than anything. I think for this year, he's going to be solid. He's going to help out with that room. And I think we've seen some progress from some of their other players that makes you think this could be a very interesting year. I think this is a really good pitching staff and a solid offense. And so at 88.5, I really like the Cubs and the over on that this season. And that is why I think they are the most underrated team in Major League Baseball for 2026. What did you guys think? Am I way overestimating some of these teams, or did I miss someone? Let me know in the comments, or again, if you're listening, hit me up on social media. I am at Primetime Klein everywhere. And yes, if you're watching this and you're like listening, of course I had to be. We also do a podcast here with Couch Potato Diary. Just search Couch Potato Diary on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.